I'm Richard Glassman. I'm a lawyer. I practice in Memphis, Nashville, and in between. I live in Nashville and Memphis. William and I met when he was 10. And I had the unfortunate mistake of having dinner with my now deceased dear friend, DeArmie Bailey, and his wife, Adrian, who was the executive director of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Memphis at the time. And I was complaining about someone broke into my car while I was running out at Shelby Farms. And I was talking about children and bad children, and we ought to cut their hands off because they steal things that don't belong to them. And Adrian said, "Richard, all you do is complain. Do something about it." And DeArmie called me the next morning and said, "I agree with Adrian. You need to do something about it. Get involved." So I went down and applied for a little at Big Brothers Big Sisters. A few weeks later, they called me and said they had made a match. It was a young man at Sherwood Elementary in Memphis whose mother had died and father was dying. And it was he and his 14-year-old sister that would be left. And he rejected me. He wrote on his card, and I was only 42 at the time, "I don't want an old, boring Jewish lawyer." I told William that he needs to find that young man and send him a Christmas present every year. William is someone that I'm very proud of. My 4 daughters are all huge successes, Zoe being the youngest. One of my daughters also practices with me, but William graduated from White Station High School, went to University of Memphis, was an ambassador at the university, graduated from the university, worked for a little while, decided he wanted to go to law school, went to my alma mater, the University of Memphis Law School, was on law review, had his note published, graduated, passed the bar the first time, joined our firm as a trial lawyer, and is a member of the Inns of Court, which is a special group of lawyers by invitation only. And he told me last night at dinner that he is one of 4 finalists to participate in the Inns of Court in London, England. He may not get it, but to be 4 out of 150 is pretty darn good in my book. So yes, I'm proud, but I'm proud because Big Brothers Big Sisters, as an organization and as people, have done something that we can't do individually, and that is to organize littles who need bigs. The future of the world is the children of the world, not our children who have families and support mechanisms in place, but all the children of the world are our future, regardless of their race, their religious beliefs, their shape, their size, the way they talk, the way they look. And without our support, both money and people, Big Brothers Big Sisters cannot be the success that it is, as evidenced by this crowd and this full room. I thank you for being here, and I think William has a few words to say. And by the way, the people who run this show are going to, if they had earbuds, I do this all the time. I never tell anybody what I'm going to say because I don't know what I'm going to say until I stand up and say it. And it just drives them crazy because what's he saying? He's not following the script. I don't.
Good morning. My name is William. I'm going to keep mine short because I'm sure Richard went over. But one thing that Richard and I always agree on usually are 2 things: are sports and popcorn. we can always find common ground with those two things. And Richard often says, if I knew as much about law as I do about sports, I'd probably be a better trial lawyer, which is probably true. But what I wanted to do is take this opportunity to tell you 3 lessons that I've learned using sports metaphors and how it's impacted my life with Big Brothers and Big Sisters and can help you, and hopefully, and we can help this organization going forward. The first thing is teammates accept you for who you are. I was a 10, 11-year-old kid. Even though I lived in a diverse neighborhood, went to a predominantly white high school, you learn something completely different when you hang out with a family who looks nothing like you. And you realize that there are some things that you do that you thought was normal, and there's some things that they do that you thought that they think is normal that you're like, that's kind of weird, or different. So for instance, as an 11-year-old, there weren't too many other 11-year-old kids that I know who were going to horse shows and eating sushi and riding go-karts. So that was fun. The second lesson I learned is you only become the best through hard work and preparation. Every night you turn on SportsCenter and you see Steph Curry do something ridiculous. And I was reading something about him where he practices anything that you see that's ridiculous. He practices over and over and over again, so it's no surprise to him. And you mentioned that I'm a business partner with Richard. I kind of wish, but I work for Richard. But the thing that I noticed is every day he kind of treats his craft like Steph Curry treats his. You might see him do something off the wall or amazing or say something in court, and you realize that he's done this over and over and over again. And I don't think I'm telling a secret that he's almost 70. So to still have the same dedication to his craft is amazing. The last thing I learned is that there's no I in team. And when I say that, that means that we can't do this, by ourselves, and Big Brothers, Big Sisters can't do it by themselves. It takes everybody in this room. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and what I learned, it's not about the lessons you learn when someone's trying to teach you. It's the lessons you learn when no one's watching, just from your behavior, from how you carry yourself and your character. Those are the biggest lessons. And hopefully, by donating to Big Brothers and signing up to be a little or big, you can help a child maybe not become a next lawyer, but definitely a productive member of society, and that's all we can ask for. Thank you.
When I was 6 years old, my dad brought my brother home. He wasn't swaddled in a blanket, crying, or 8 pounds. He was 10 years old and smiling ear to ear. It was instant for William and I. We were brother and sister from day one. Pretty much every other time my dad and William hung out, I was there tagging along. My dad took us both go-karting to play pool, ride bikes, and everything in between. I looked forward to every single weekend because I got to hang out with my brother. Because I grew up not only wanting to follow in my father's footsteps, but also my brother's, I knew I needed to get involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters. While going to school at the University of South Carolina, I interned at the Big Brothers of Big Sisters of Greater Columbia. And then when I moved to Nashville, I immediately signed up to be a Big. So in August of 2014, Big Brothers Big Sisters matched me with a 10-year-old little girl named Shay. Shay and I were matched because she likes to play outside, be on the go all the time, and because she has only brothers. Shay's mom works many hours at Wendy's, and her stepdad is in landscaping. She has 3 older brothers and 1 younger brother. 2 of the older brothers are also in the program. Her parents work all day, every day, and at night she shares a bed with one of her brothers. They all share one bathroom, so Shay doesn't always get to take a shower or brush her teeth. The Saturday before Thanksgiving, her parents were working the whole weekend to save up enough money to feed their children a Thanksgiving meal. In the year that Shay and I have been matched, she and her family have moved 4 times. Due to all of these hardships, Shay doesn't ever get one-on-one time with her mom or her stepdad. So when Shay and I spend time together, I know it's a special time for her. She doesn't ever get someone's complete attention. And when we are together, she definitely takes advantage of my undivided attention. She is constantly asking me how my work is, how my dog is, and her favorite and most common question, when am I ever going to get married? I know my sweet Shay values our time together, and if she only knew how much I value our time together. Shay teaches me to slow down, not to sweat the small stuff, and to be so very thankful for all the things I've been given in my life. When Shay is talking a mile a minute in the car, barely even stopping to breathe, she tells me she wants to grow up to be a TSU cheerleader. So this past summer, I enrolled her in cheerleading lessons and went to every single one with her, cheering her on from the sideline. So she is going to try out for the cheerleading team next year when she's old enough. So if it wasn't for Big Brothers Big Sisters, Shay wouldn't get our one-on-one time and wouldn't be able to go to cheerleading lessons. If it wasn't for Big Brothers Big Sisters, Shay's family wouldn't have had an entire Thanksgiving meal delivered to their house on Thanksgiving. If it wasn't for Big Brothers Big Sisters, many other children wouldn't get the chance to have a mentor take their hand and show them the opportunities that they have in this world. I plan on, for the rest of my life, being this little girl's cheerleader, cheering her on to high school, college, and everything after, so that one day she can pick me up and I can bombard her with questions like, how's work? How's your dog? How's married life? Thank you.